Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'm Nika Garcia, the associate producer with the Catamounts, and I am here to interview Jeff Neuman. I'm so excited. Jeff, thanks for making time for me today. I'm so enjoying working with you, and I loved hearing the first read through of Pride of the Farm.
It was exciting. It was amazing hearing it out loud for the first time with actors, so yeah.
Yes, and all those actors that did such an amazing job. Like really, I enjoyed it so much. And you guys have worked through a couple of revisions since then.
Yeah.
There's some movement. And
yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it's right now it's just a living document. So we keep kind of chipping away at it, going into it, moving away from it, figuring out what's working, what's not. So yeah, it's definitely gone undergoing changes as we speak. Actually, I've spent the morning editing it actually.
And I think I heard like a new character. I think I heard of a new character, possibly new scenes coming up. So.
Since the first read, which is only a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
there's actually 2 brand new characters in it and a new scene that we're developing right now. So yeah, again, as I said, it is a living, breathing document.
Amazing. And so I want to know a little bit about you. Like, how long have you been in Denver? Where did you grow up? How did you get into writing plays?
So I've been in Denver for almost 30 years. So I think that I can kind of lay claim to being a native now, but maybe not. But I grew up right outside of New York City, kind of made my way up the Hudson, and then very, very far west and never looked back. Yeah, so with regards to playwriting, I don't know why, but I've always really felt the pull of it, despite the fact that theater was not a big part of my life growing up. But there was something about the idea of writing for real people in real space in real time to perform in front of real people in real space in real time that was really thrilling to me. So for some reason, out of all the writing, and writing was where I always kind of lived as a kid and as a human being, and then eventually as an artist. But yeah, it was playwriting in particular that really drew me. But I didn't really get into playwriting itself until college. So I felt it growing up. It was like a thread and a seed in my life, but it really didn't become anything until college.
So was it after college that you came out to out west? Or?
Yeah, my best friend from elementary school, who I'm still very good friends with, she had always wanted to move to Denver and didn't want to make the trip alone. So after we graduated, I didn't have much going on, and I thought, I'll give it a shot. And that was totally unlike me, because I think I have like 2 basic emotional states, like nervous and anxious. So you know, picking up and moving halfway across the country is not in my normal wheelhouse. But I trusted it, and I moved out here with her. And after 4 weeks, she left for a boy, went back to New York, and I stayed. Anytime that I'm a little scared of something, I kind of lean into it rather than pull away from it, because I figure that's where growth is going to happen, which is actually how I wound up working with the Catamounts for the first time.
Okay, great. I want to hear all about it.
So when Amanda approached me, I was writing a play in residence at Denver Center for the Performing Arts, and I'd always loved Amanda's work. I saw Wild Party, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite things I've ever seen on stage. But I asked if she would be interested and available to do the reading, and she was. So I got to work with her for the first time, and we hit it off, and it was really great getting to know her, not only as an artist, but as a human being. About a year later, she approached me about an offer to write Land of Milk and Honey, which was done in partnership with the City of Westminster at the Schoenberg Farm. And she pitched this idea to me. It was so prescient what she did, because she developed a story about community and health and developed the script before the pandemic. And then what happened was the pandemic hit, and we were living the story in many ways that we wanted to tell about this farm that was basically created to help feed a community in need. And I had never written an immersive piece before. I had never written anything that tapped into Jewish history before. So going back to what I was originally saying, I was scared out of my mind. But I really got excited by that sense of fear, because I felt like Amanda and the Catamounts were going to offer me the opportunity to grow as an artist by trying something that I had never done before, writing for an immersive experience and writing something that tapped into a part of my own heritage and history that I didn't know much about at all.
Amazing, so amazing. And I wanted to ask you as part of this interview, because I know you guys won awards with that play, and I did not get to see it. And for anyone else in our community that didn't get a chance to see it, and then of course for people that did and want to just reminisce about it or didn't know you as a playwright,
it was really an exciting process, and it was incredibly healing, because again, this was a story about how the tuberculosis movement actually helped Denver to become what Denver became.
Right.
So we wanted to tell a story about what happens when there is a health crisis and how the community comes together. I think it was incredibly healing, not only for all of us, but for the people who were able to actually see the show. And that's when we won a True West Award for basically writing a story and helping the audience and the community engage with a sense of the pandemic without ever mentioning the word COVID. But we were really telling that story because there were so many parallels between what we were going through with the COVID pandemic and with what our forefathers in Denver and Westminster were dealing with the tuberculosis pandemic.
Right, that's what people always say, is that's why we study history, is so that we don't repeat all the bad parts about it. And that brings us to where we are right now with Pride of the Farm, which is one thing I really want to talk to you about. So we are doing another collaboration with the city of Westminster at the Metzger Farm, and it's going to be playing all June, and it is another immersive site-specific piece. And Jeffrey Neuman is the one who's writing it, and so we definitely hope you're all going to come out and see that. Bring your friends, bring your neighbors. If you have not seen immersive theater or site-specific work, I mean, the Catamounts things that I've seen are more of the plays that actually took place in a theater. So I'm on that list. I'm with you guys on this adventure, and I think that. Even just sitting here in your beautiful home, thank you so much for having me. But I think that that's what we have in common working with Amanda, is that we kind of know that in working with her, we're going to be doing things that we have not done before in ways that we have not done them before, because she is, looking at theater in a very holistic way and a very interdisciplinary way. Those are some of the themes that we were talking about.
And in a very inclusive way. What's so cool about it is, I was trained in dramaturgy. I've helped to develop new plays, but I've never helped to develop site-specific pieces like this. And it really does kind of explode what your idea is of theater, because it's not a traditional building. And it's not scary. It's not like we're asking the audience to participate in it. They're not necessarily actors in the play, but they are definitely engaged in it in a way that makes it an incredibly unique, dynamic, and profoundly personal experience.
We hope you all are going to join us for Pride of the Farm, and I hope that you've enjoyed this opportunity to hear me chat with Jeffrey Neuman.